are live.
Hello, everybody. Happy
night.
13th. Do you just say good night?
Good night, everybody. Like,
Okay.
good night.
Okay. I thought that was a fast episode. Yes, happy 13th of the month. You know what that means? It's dinner.
Yeah.
We're back. We're back for another relaxed session with you guys. Because Kyle and I have been very busy this last month. So what we wanted to do was just chill out with all of you and have like a nice, chat with our fans kind of session. For those of you who have already seen the thumbnail and the description, tonight's session will be all about our favorite haunted places.
In Asia.
In Asia, yes. And not just Singapore, but all over Asia. Before we get to that, just a little bit updates about what we've been up to. Ghost maps.
Wait.
What's going on?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Still waiting for that sponsorship, Tiger Beer. Or Poca Green Tea. Yes. So yeah. Ghost Maps episode 69, the nicest of all episodes, went live this week. Kyle now doing this for the grams, just in case you guys wondering. Went live this week, and not to spoil it for anybody because this happens within the first 5 seconds of the episode, but our narrator is back.
Yes.
He's returned since we had four guest narrators.
Yep.
Over the last 2 months, I guess. So yeah, it's good to have him back. We saw in the comments that a lot of y'all are happy he's back. But once again, thank you to Teddy, thank you to Ernie, thank you to who's the other one? I completely forgot.
Thank you to John from Longkang Kitties. Thank you to Ernie
from
from Bad Parents. Thank you to Teddy
from
A Briefcase Podcast.
No, I was literally thank you to Teddy, Ernie, and Longkang. That was what's going through my head. Thank you, Longkang. I was
Longkang. Oh yeah, Longkang also not bad lah.
Yeah lah. Sorry, John. I didn't mean to change your name to Longkang. But yes, thank you guys for filling in for our narrator, and now our narrator is back and better than ever. Although we would like to believe that he's always been, the best narrator around. But yeah, so that's episode 69. That's
nice.
That very nice episode. It went online, I think, just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yep. So if you guys haven't enjoyed that episode yet, wait till the end of this episode. It did air, then enjoy it. We also wanted to thank when did we have our Kizuna event? At the end of October, right?
Yeah.
So we want to thank the wonderful folks at Kizuna and the massive crowd of people that showed up for our event. We were expecting a few people to join us. We kind of figured, be a nice turnout. We didn't expect that there were going to be people standing outside of Kizuna waiting to come in for the show. So that was awesome. It was great to see all of y'all down there. We had some wonderful ghost stories at our Kizuna event, some of which might become Ghost Maps episodes in the future.
Yeah, congratulations to the 2 winners.
Yeah,
for the giveaway by Audio Technica.
Yep.
So those 2 stories were creepy, man.
Oh yeah,
I remember being on stage, right, and then halfway through the stories that they submitted, the dog started barking.
Yeah, there were dogs
at the specific part where the climax of the story.
I think at this point in time, we probably have to hire some of those dogs to be guest narrators also. They were very good in terms of their timing.
You say our bar for narrators damn low.
No. Our bar for narrators very high. But let's be honest here, those dogs really knew their timing. They were I can't remember which story we were talking about. Then we were and then the dog started to howl. That outside literally here, woo! I was big Ghost Maps fans. So we gave away 2 headphones, I think, right? Or earphones.
Earphones,
2 earphones from Audio Technica to 2 very worthy winners and their terrifying ghost story. I remember the second winner. When they were telling their story, halfway, we won't try to recreate the story now. You can watch the full live event on our YouTube channel. But the second winner, about halfway through the story, you could literally hear the whole crowd in a packed cafe go silent and then go, ooh. Always a good sign you're telling a good story lah. So yeah, that's what we've been up to over this last month. So what we wanted to talk about this week is haunted places, as we said. Travel has been opening up all around the world over like the last few months and I guess year. Like it's so hard to tell time nowadays.
Yep.
So we've been thinking about haunted places not necessarily just in Singapore or Southeast Asia, but like around Asia. And we thought, okay lah, let's do an episode, with you guys just chilling out and like sharing our favorite haunted places around Asia. We've talked about Karak Highway quite a bit. We've talked about Old Changi Hospital quite a bit. So what we're gonna do is try and look at other places. But like we said, this is not just us. This is supposed to be a conversation of all you guys. So please, if you got scary places that you want to share with us, please do share those places with us.
Yeah.
Like we said, this one's very relaxed. After a wonderful interview with Lily Hoffman and Ng Yisheng last month, and after the events we've been doing, and after our guest narrators and our regular narrator coming back, we just wanted to relax with you guys.
Yeah, there were so many things.
Yeah.
We had 4 guest narration episodes for Ghost Maps.
Yeah.
We did a Halloween event at
Yep.
Kizuna. We hosted Ng Yisheng and Lily Hoffman.
Don't forget our TikTok event as well.
And we did a TikTok live event.
Yep.
All in the span of almost 2 weeks. And,
Yeah.
And not to forget our friends at Coconut. Coconut
Yes.
TV. We went over and
Correct.
told 2
How
ghost
could I
stories.
forget? Yeah.
Yeah. And on top of that, a couple months ago, I did another Halloween video, which has yet to come out for some reason. But stay tuned for that. I went down to like some abandoned place. That was, but stay tuned to that. So we were like super busy. Yeah. So that's why chill session. And also we've been wanting to do like a video like this, a live stream. Where we talk about like just haunted locations.
Yeah. Just
in
hang
Asia.
out with you guys and
So Angela Lim says knock. I hope not at our door. Yeah. Because it's just the 2 of us now.
Yeah, it would be kind of weird. You got we have doorbells down here anyway.
Yeah,
so
we have doorbells. Yeah.
Look-
Speaking of doorbells, right?
I want to see where you're going with this.
I've always, because I am, my apartment, we use like a camera system so it can detect things. Not that I want it to happen, just that I've always felt that like maybe one day, right, there will be like a detection at like 2-3 a.m. at night, but then there will be no one. Because it will like detect and then you will just prompt me on the phone.
Honestly, it's probably going to be a cat.
No cats. There's no cats here.
Not yet.
Okay, fine.
Give it time. Like people say, like, oh, Singapore is the most haunted place in the world. Like, yeah, but we also got plenty of cats, so can go mad a bit.
Angela Lim also says that St. Patrick's School. Yeah, I've heard plenty of stories over there. In fact, there is one story. I mean, I guess we're starting, right?
Yeah lah.
There is one story that I've heard from a friend when they were walking back home. So this was
This is St. Patrick's.
10 years ago. About 10 years ago. So me and my bunch of friends, we would go to Marine Parade, Parkway Parade to watch movies. And then because being the poor secondary school students that we were, then we have to walk home lah. No money to take the taxi.
Chok, I just want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Just to give people an idea of the age difference.
Yeah.
What I know Parkway Parade for is the second chance in front. Last time I go down there and buy my Christmas clothes.
Okay, I don't even know what that shop is.
Exactly. Carry on.
Okay. So anyway, so the St. Patrick's School is one of the roads that you pass by when you're walking home to our location lah.
Yep.
So St. Patrick's School is actually a very old school that has gone through World War II.
Yep.
So we know of the reputation. So we will walk. A bunch of us, like 6 to 7 guys, just walking home. And that one particular incident, I wasn't there. But what I heard, what happened was when they walked past the school, there was this like, those like how do I put it in words? The walkway, sheltered walkways.
Yeah.
So one of them actually saw a white figure on top of like one of the roofs, like maybe third or fourth floor roofs.
Right.
And he jumped down to the walkway and then he started walking towards them. So they were, because it was like there's a fence, right? Then there's the school, then there's the walkway. So the thing was walking like side by side with them, like that.
Jump down from the roof.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but my first thought was literally parkour.
Yeah. But like the funny thing is that I asked, did that thing make any sound? He said no. Silent.
Very good parkour.
Very good parkour, right? Like no sound. Like you imagine if it was a human like trying to scare you in white and jump down, right? There
You
should
hear
be
something lah.
There should be a
like a dunk or something.
yeah, like no, but there was nothing.
Mm.
So yeah, like it didn't exist lah. And then he was walking. Apparently one guy saw it only, and then he told the rest. Then they started turning back, cause like you walk like two people in front, two people at the back.
Yeah.
Then all of them saw and they ran. Then the guy was like, "Hey, wait for me!" And then they all ran.
The general rule when dealing with creatures and spirits are, you don't have to outrun the creature and spirit. You just have to not be the slowest.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, but like in the wise words of one of our contributors, who is also my brother-in-law, he contributed to the episode with the keyboard one.
The keyboard one. Which one? I also cannot remember.
Let me see. Land Shop. The back
Oh,
rooms
okay,
and the
okay,
key of
okay,
a Land
okay,
Shop.
okay.
So what episode is that? Let me just see. Episode 65.
Yeah.
So quite recent. So
Yeah.
in the wise words of my brother-in-law, he said, "Bro, there is no need to run because they are ghosts. They will just teleport right in front of you." And I just went quiet for like 3 minutes and I was like, "You have a very good point. Actually, I never thought of that. You have a very good point. Just give up." He said, "Just give up. Or at least face it."
He does have a very good point. I don't disagree. But there's got to be like something you can do aside from run, what?
I mean, square up.
No. Like there has to be like some way you can like siam the ghost without like outrunning
Square
them.
up. Like, or like, do some incantation. I don't know.
I like how you say square as if I'm gonna have a boxing match with the ghost, you know.
Maybe the ghost scared one. I don't know.
Ghost dead. What's it got to lose?
Maybe the ghost got trauma from boxing match in the past. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, that was my story from St. Patrick's. Not really mine lah. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of these schools have like, I think almost every
school have.
Yeah, every person I've met
Every
has
school have.
a lot of it. Like unfortunate. I think I can't remember whether we talked about this during the live event or like somewhere else or even like off air, dead air, off air.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
Yep.
Oh, as if I'm so soft.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the time when you hear these ghost stories about schools, it's very sad, but a lot of it is always suicide cases.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same story.
Yeah. So like we've heard, that's the thing, we've heard like lots of people try to tell us the more or less the same story. And already we've said like, we don't want to do any ghost stories that involve suicides.
Yeah.
But then they're all kind of similar anyway. The school ghost story. So we're like, but like all schools, at least this one sounds quite different.
No lah, I think the schools they have withstood the test of time.
Yeah.
They usually have slightly different stories.
Yeah.
Like St. Pat is World War II.
Yeah.
So like jumping on to what Angela said her dad got a wounded Japanese soldiers in the 50s and 60s when he was a student there. So he saw something lah. So
wow.
I'm not surprised. Like the most famous like Japanese soldier story, because for fans, they are not from this region. Singapore went through World War II, and Japan occupied Singapore for a good 2 years. And during that time, there were a lot of killing by the Japanese soldiers, and also there was Japanese soldiers that died here as well. So the most famous story was the Sentosa one, right? Taxi drivers saw an entire battalion of Japanese soldiers in full battle order, and they were like they had like the rifles, the old school rifle with the bayonets. So yeah, that's proper scary.
I can't remember whether I told you this. So my aunt, I don't the details are a bit sketchy. I have to check with like my parents and everything. But my aunt, I think, was living on Sentosa.
Whoa.
And she didn't see the battalion, but similar. She heard, and this is like in the middle of the night, she heard the marching.
Nice.
Which you know, the marching alone, you can be like, oh, okay, I don't know what sound that is lah. It could be something else. Then she heard the marching and she heard somebody shouting out orders in Japanese. She didn't see anything, but she heard it and she heard somebody barking out the orders in Japanese. So yeah lah, Sentosa is like famous for that.
It's Pulau Belakang Mati, which translate to back island of death.
Yeah.
Right?
More or less lah.
Yeah.
I've translated it far worse, but that's essentially what it is lah.
So yeah, wait, we got a really good friend, Audrey.
Achan.
Hello, from Australia, I think. Right?
What do you mean you think?
No, I almost wanted to say Malaysia about that. Anyway,
fair,
yeah. So Nanyang Vice, Uncle Zaku says knock knock. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I was like looking at that. I don't know who this is.
Nanyang Vice is another podcast of Mandarin horror and true crime podcast. Very similar to Ghost Maps.
Yeah.
But his creations are very original. So it's based on his own story process and stuff. So he tells pretty terrifying horror stories.
Yeah.
We should also say is in his own universe. And we collaborated with him for like a few episodes. So I went onto his show for an interview, which creepy stuff happened.
Yep.
Very creepy stuff happened. Basically breathing noises, weird mic noises.
Did we talk about it when the episode came out?
We did.
Right?
And then he came onto dead air, which nothing happened.
Yeah.
He came onto dead air and then he shared. But unfortunately that was in Mandarin.
Yeah.
But so do check it out if you are into, you can, enjoy Mandarin content. Really good stuff. I love it. And the things that he talked about for true crime is also very detailed. Yeah. So yeah, do check Uncle Zaku out.
I don't understand what you're saying, but from what you told me, it sounds very interesting.
No, I just know that like something happened like for
during the recording, yes.
Not on my side, on his side. And the funny thing is that we specifically chose to record in the morning because we both were quite busy.
Right.
And and it was during the 7th month, but it was in the morning. So we're like, okay, we're a bit scared, but at the same time, logistics, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very proud to say I'm sorry, Uncle Zaku. I didn't get anything from my recording. I listened to my recording, but your recording definitely have something. But he's a non-believer, so we are all good.
I believe this is a good segue to go thank you Audio Technica mics.
No, I don't think it's the mics, man.
No. Hey. Audio Technica has been very good to us.
Nice.
Let's just say that the mics have protected you from evil spirits.
So you're saying the mics cannot pick up entities?
No. The mics block out the entities. Yeah.
Should I hire this guy to write copy for you?
Don't know what kind of campaign Audio Technica is going to get,
So yeah, he says, Uncle Zaku said that he heard that Haw Villa is haunted. It's not hurt. It's a thing. It is haunted. In a sense whereby, I mean, local radio shows, paranormal shows also have actually talked about it.
Yeah.
They said that because Haw Villa, it is a depiction of the 18 levels of hell for, I think, Buddhist or Taoist religion.
Hey,
so
now they got the Hell Museum some more.
Yeah, they got a Hell Museum.
Yeah.
And there were cases of people like actually hearing extra noises in the caves because they have like caves of hell, right? And then so there were quite a few weird occurrences. And last time, right, you cannot visit the place after maybe 7 or 10. They close it. Yeah.
I think you still can, right? Like, I mean,
you can now.
Really?
You can now. All the podcasts that I actually listen to, the Mandarin podcast, 做工讲鬼, for 972 Love FM, right? They did like a gathering there, like they fan meet, like an impromptu fan meet at there, and then
but like special events,
event at night.
Oh yeah,
it was like after 12.
But I think like to the public, it's closed at a certain time, right?
Yeah, but bro, this one is like proper scary. Imagine like the gates of hell, and you go in there at 12 a.m. and you start hearing weird noises.
The one that I heard, like not just Haw Villa itself, but like there's a place behind Haw Villa or something, right? Where it's all the discarded statues or the something like that. I was it you who was telling me?
No, it wasn't me.
Okay, well I gotta go and look at that one because I know that there's a area, not in the main Haw Villa area, but like either behind or nearby or something where they put all the discarded statues and everything. Which is extra creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Yeah, and and Uncle Zaku is saying that recording experience was very special. Uncle Zaku, 你的人太 modest 了. You're too modest because he is obviously not afraid. I remember clearly sending him text and sending him evidence. He's like, no lah, my breathing lah,
Yeah.
chill.
I know you said very nice things to him, so I just want to add ni hao.
Yeah, so like he's not afraid lah. So I'm not worried for him because he's like, nah, it's nothing, which is good.
No, hey, and you're not worried for us also because we have Audio Technica mics too.
Right?
Yeah.
You keep plugging.
I know lah.
You keep plugging them.
Like, what can I say? They've been very helpful. They've been very helpful with Ghost Map. So, I figure like mentioning them not enough. Like giving them the reputation that they protect us from evil spirits.
This is false advertising.
It's false advertising lah, but who's taking me seriously on the show? So,
Hi WSA.
hi WSA.
Finally, we can get you, to interact with us.
Yep.
He says that he got my coffee and breakfast ready this morning. Sorry guys, like there was a bit of a hiccup. I put in the wrong schedule timing. It was supposed to be 9 p.m. I accidentally put it at 9 a.m. So
Well, we like we said, we've been quite busy. So
yeah, very busy.
These kind of things happen, but the pleasant surprises where you go, wait a minute.
I just shot. I'm in the process of shooting a documentary at Golden Mile Complex.
Yep.
Because as you all know, Golden Mile Complex is gonna be on block and then they're gonna be preserved.
Mm-hmm.
So for our international listeners, Golden Mile Complex is basically the little Thailand of Singapore. So all the Thais congregate there. It's a very old building. If you just look it up, it looks pretty creepy. Okay, it's a horror story, by the way. So last night when I was shooting some scenes there, one of the people that works there told me, hey, there's this corner at the level 2 where is to dump like rubbish lah. There is a gumantong. Gumantong is basically the Thai version of a toyo, child spirit. And I didn't believe the person. I said, cannot be what, because it's like a trash point. Then people just transport goods. So it's a cargo lift, then there's an alley, then they transport goods into the building. And then someone just put a gumantong there lah. So it's a very life-size gumantong. So I went to go and see. The moment I walk in, it's like a turn. It's like one of those like horror movie turns. So you turn, you straight away see the statue already. And it's a life-size statue of a gumantong. It's like a size of a small child. It's just standing there with a lot of offerings. And then this place, right, is just dimly lit and like there's smell of rubbish. It's because it's right next to the rubbish dump. And it's just not a fun experience. It's like it looks like a movie set. It looks like a set from Saw. It's
I saw the photos.
Yeah.
Very
I
much
showed him the photo
yeah.
the moment I met him this today. So I it's creepy. Then I see already, I scared. Then I went in the first time, I didn't go in all the way. Then I went back. I got someone to accompany me. I go in and take one photo. Then I came out. And then I just told the group, I said, I'm sorry. I'm just here to work. Then I took the photo. Then I was like, tomorrow I got there. I'm going to tell the story.
Can I just say, I love how your reaction was then I turned the corner, then I scared. Like 12-year-old boy just discovered ghosts like that. No?
Yeah, bro, it's like, you have to go there to feel it. Like, yeah. Like, I've been to Golden Mile Complex many, many times. I practically grew up there. But this was the first time that I was proper creeped out by it. Like, yeah. The more I saw it, my hair stand. And I can feel, like, like the shiver down your neck, that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
The more I turn my back against it, wow. And yesterday I didn't bring any protection, so that was extra scary. Yeah.
To
and
be
it was
fair,
at like 9-10 p.m.
When you say turn a corner in Golden Mile Complex, right? Immediately my mind, you didn't even have to show me the photos. Like, immediately my mind was like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Then you say like some secluded corner. I was like, no, it's alright. No, thank you.
Yeah, lor.
Yeah.
So yeah lah. Like Uncle Zaku say, Golden Mile really scary shit.
Yeah.
Uncle Zaku, when you come to Singapore, I need to bring you there. If it's still around, I need to bring you there. I think you will love it, because the vibes there is just yeah.
I'm sure it'll still be around. I think it's a case of
whether it be still scary.
Exactly. Like what version of Golden Mile are you going to see lah?
Nice. So hi Renee. I think Renee is saying hi to me. Hello. Angela was saying pull out Tekong. Unfortunately, we won't be covering Pulau Tekong because we're going to Asia, right?
Yeah.
Pulau Tekong is a bit overly told, but maybe one day we'll talk about Pulau Tekong again.
Yeah. And I think at this point in time, like we've got, how many is it? 3 episodes on Tekong?
Yeah, we have 3 episodes.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
I've 1,000,001 times said that I don't play favorites with our Ghost Maps episodes because they're all our children. But when the episodes are listening to us, I always say that first Pulau Tekong episode is still my favorite. It's the favorite of all my Ghost Maps children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now shall we start? Okay.
Yeah.
We have probably like how many countries?
We've got like 4 countries.
4 countries, but 5 to 6 locations.
Yeah.
But please share your most favorite haunted location after you finish this episode. Okay.
Yeah. No, even while we're talking about the locations that we've got, keep sharing your favorite locations.
Oh yeah.
Because we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear what y'all think. Do y'all have any stories down there, or do you just find the place creepy or anything like that? Keep sharing with us.
Yeah.
Like we said, conversation episode. Okay, we all chilled out around here.
Angela straight out already whack.
Oh, I see.
This one I know.
Yeah.
This one I know. This is famous.
Is
Grand
it?
Hyatt Hotel Taipei. Yeah, it's famous.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Uncle Zaku also knows about this because he's very he's very involved in like the Taiwan space.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So we wanted to. What we were thinking is we start with Singapore first, then we just move out a bit there.
A bit more not typical lah.
Yeah. Lah. So the one that we were thinking of, and this one weirdly enough we don't see it. Well, okay, we do see people talk about it lah, but not as much as like okay. And who was it? Angela said Pulau Tekong. A lot of people will always talk about like Pulau Ubin as being like kind of haunted and everything.
Yeah. Wait.
Sorry.
Before you you continue with the story, I just need to address what Angela said because I vaguely remember listening to one of the Taiwan horror podcasts, and Grand Hyatt Taipei is apparently very, very haunted. It has 2 in the hotel lobby. It has 2 talisman, giant talisman that is placed there. Yeah, we're seeing the photo right now.
I see it.
So so because it was reportedly built on a World War II prison camp. So and yeah, there were a lot of like creepy experience that happened there.
They cannot find a better place to build on.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I guess like that's just the feeling lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on to Wayne.
So we were talking about like all the different islands around Singapore and everything, and the one that we do see people talk about it, but not as much, is Pulau Serangoon, or as a lot of people know it, Coney Island.
Not the American one.
Not the American one. Although, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, from what I understand, there was some guy who went to New York, saw Coney Island, and wanted to build like.
Excuse you, some guy.
Who was it?
The Hoppa brothers.
Oh, was it the Hoppa brothers?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't. Like I said, I knew about it, but I didn't know like the.
I thought you were just like creating banter for me to say. So you genuinely didn't know.
Hey, we're all about education here.
Sure. So the history is the Hoppa brothers, they are very rich. Also the same brothers who own the Hoppa Villa. They went to America and they saw Coney Island and they're like, hey, we want that in Singapore. So they bought an island. Back then it was called Pulau Serangoon, basically Serangoon Island.
Then they never got around to building it, apparently.
Apparently they didn't do it because the cost was too great and nobody was interested in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coney Island.
So for some reason, the name Coney Island still stuck.
It was stuck.
Nobody.
Well, they own the island, so they could rename it whatever they
They
want.
got now lah. So you would think they would revert it back to Pulau Serangoon, but oh well.
Yeah.
So we have the I won't say more boring version lah. It's all sand and beaches and like trees and everything. So it's a nice place to walk through during the day for like nature walks and everything. It actually looks really nice. A lot of people cycle through it, a lot of people take hikes through it and everything. And that's wonderful and everything, but the understanding I have, and I've heard a few people say this, is apparently at night. This, before it was connected to the mainland, Pulau Serangoon used to be where people would go to dispose of their toyols. Like the toyol jars and everything with the
like
toyols.
basically like gubantongs and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like, the rumors or what the legend says is that the place is filled with toyols, or it used to be because it was an island. So you go down there, you throw your toyol, and then it stays down there. Then they built a bridge to the mainland.
Yep.
So, as much as it used to be the disposal ground for toyols, now it seems kind of pointless because whatever toyols they dumped on there probably just ran back to Singapore. So yeah, I imagine it's still kind of like almost like home base for toyols, but
Yeah.
you know,
I'm not saying that like the authorities know, but I'm just saying like there's a reason why
he's
it's
not
closed.
saying he's not saying, okay.
There's a reason why it's closed at 7 p.m.
Probably because people can be very clumsy also lah, to be fair.
But you could just put lights, right?
You could.
Yeah, it's just one small island, one straight road, one in road, one.
Yeah, it like you could actually take a straight path right through the island.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, why would you? Like, if that place is so like even during the day, if you happen to be walking there at not the wrong time, but at a certain time, it's just so quiet. Like I've walked through there in the middle of the day and there's just nobody else around. I mean, granted, I was doing this on a weekday lah, but still, nobody else around, and it's that weird mix between like very peaceful but also very creepy. So yeah, lovely place to visit during the day. Whether you want to try and visit it closer to the evening, that's entirely up to you. I'm happy to go at 3:00 in the afternoon when the sun is nice and bright right overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if any of y'all have any stories about not enough of my Poca green tea, clearly. If any of y'all have any stories about Pulau Serangoon, please share them. What I've heard mostly is that it's filled with toyols. But if you have anything that's, not exactly toyol related, please share with us also. So we figured we do Pulau Serangoon as a starter, as like a appetizer before we move on beyond Singapore shores.
And there's a abandoned
Yes,
house
that's right. Yeah.
that is on the island itself. It's called the Haw Beach Villa.
Yeah.
And people have found it. It's on the island. Please don't trespass because it's already fenced off now. It's in a very in a very middle section of the island. So I think there are plans to actually revitalize that abandoned building lah. But but it's there. Obviously it's owned by the Hoppa brothers at that point. They wanted to have a beach villa, right? Yeah. Then now it's owned by the state lah. Yeah. Yeah lor.
Yeah, Pulau Serangoon. Lovely place for nature.
My dad went there before.
What, to the house?
Yeah. Pulau Serangoon. So I was just like reading up, like Pulau Serangoon was like initially it's like 6 times smaller than it is now. Now it's about 2.4 kilometers in terms of like length. They reclaim the land by 6 times. So it's relatively small. So he said that they will canoe from the mainland to Coney Island to camp. Didn't feel anything lah. They say they will just go there and fish and like just being young people who actually went out to camp.
It doesn't have the almost like the notorious reputation that like Ubin will have, or even
Ubin is like, man, Ubin is next thing.
If you have an island like Coney Island, Pulau Serangoon, it's still going to be creepy lah. But yeah, if that's why, like, we brought that up also because if any of y'all have any stories about Pulau Serangoon, please share. I'm very curious about that place. It's yeah.
Slight tangent. Like, by the way, it was owned by the Hoppa brothers, and the Hoppa brothers are the creators of the very famous Tiger Balm thing. The gel.
I like how you're doing this.
The
as if
gel.
both of us are using it right now.
Well,
Well, one of us is not as young as he used to be. One of us was never young, apparently. So yeah, that's Pulau Serangoon. If you guys have any stories, like we said, if you guys have any... Oh, wait, I've been to that house, WSA. Apparently, he's been to Pulau Serangoon.
I thought you from Malaysia?
Yeah, WSA, Bluffers.
I thought you were from Malaysia.
Malaysians cannot visit Singapore.
No, I'm just saying, like, this is like a weird place to visit Singapore. It's not on, like, the map. Like, if you're looking for horror places, first place you go Old Changi Hospital. Yeah. Not Pulau Serangoon. But yeah. So basically, WSA said that he has been to the house in Coney Island before, and more people found out about it and didn't feel creepy vibe from it though. Yeah, it did. It's not the creepy
I mean
part. The creepy part is the entire island.
Yeah, I think if we're talking about creepy houses on islands, probably the house at Ubin is still more creepy lah.
Yeah.
Like in terms of feels lah.
No, it's not just that. I think the idea of like it, when we heard the stories about like it being a place for toyo to discard unwanted toyos, right?
Yeah, it's kind of sad actually.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because back then they didn't have the bridge connecting.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
mainland. You have to literally use a boat.
Yep.
So the water apparently blocks them from leaving the island, going back to their masters. Because when you abandon that entity, right, it will try to look back for you. But then if you surround it with water, apparently it works.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the science is there, but like, yeah. So that's...
I mean, I guess the science is that they can't swim lah. Maybe that's the science.
Yeah.
Never took swimming lessons.
Can fly.
He can fly. Well, okay, fair enough. If they had an upgrade, sure.
Yeah, nice. Oh, so now it makes sense.
Wow,
Basically,
okay.
say, I'm not Malaysian and certainly do not live in Malaysia. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I have that, like...
I think...
I'm sorry, man. I don't know why.
I know why it is. Because WSA and Lost in Malaysia used to... Like, they were the 1-2 punch of people who were interacting with us. So
Fair enough.
I think we kind of made that association.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, continuing on, right?
Yeah.
This is saying that there are a few reportedly haunted places in Hong Kong that are located in the city area. For example, the Hong Kong Central Hospital that is now abandoned but still standing. Location is still quite easily accessible. Oh, I didn't know you are quite the urbex, huh?
Yeah, nicely done, WSA.
Yeah. So Hong Kong is like my second favorite city in the world, other than Singapore. 6+6 yo. But
Very nice.
yeah, I used to visit almost once or twice every year before COVID.
Yeah.
So I remember going one of the first place that I went to Hong Kong is actually the cemetery.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
You very on brand, no you?
No, because I've always seen them in the films, right? Then you're curious. I went there, like people were curious to see us there because we were just two tourists, like watching this. And my God, I'm telling you, like the cemeteries over there, at least the ones that I went got like very good view. They are facing the sea. They are on like a mountain cliff. They're facing the sea. Super nice. Because the Hong Kong people, they are very into feng shui.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is like wealth to them, like feng shui . And wow, the view is like, I mean, no pun intended, to die for. I knew he was gonna break. Yeah, so we
the worst part is I knew you were gonna make some kind of pun.
Yep.
And I thought I was prepared, but apparently not.
So back then I was a lot more stupid, a lot more just more daring . If you ask me to go now as a tourist, probably not. So I went into the columbarium as well. By the cemetery, by the seaside. So I just went in there to go and look like, interesting columbarium.
I mean, to be fair, like, you know, we've had this discussion before where cemeteries it's almost peaceful. Because like the dead all are literally down there to rest.
But dark tourist it's like dark tourism . So I just went there. So I've always felt that Hong Kong has a lot of abandoned buildings in the city center.
Yep.
That is there. Yeah. So let's go into So when I pass by, Yo is saying, when I pass by Mount Pleasant, 5 to 10 years old, as his mom loves to visit relatives, I've always told her to go back before that because nobody told me it's haunted. Guess being young makes me sensitive.
Yeah.
Something tells me that it's not right when walking through that lonely road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well. It's just right next to Bukit Brown, so
I mean, this is not at all connected to what you were saying, Yo. But the moment you said something tells me it's not right when walking along that lonely road, Green Day's Broken Dreams went through my head. Which
same thing.
say right, okay, good. It's not just me then. See, that's how the generations. That's how our age gap is bridged by Green Day. Yeah, no, I think from what I understand, it's when you're younger, you're more sensitive, right?
Very.
Yeah, because you know, I think like as you get older, you kind of the theory is you train yourself not to see this kind of thing.
It's not trained. It's okay. So depends on your religion and depends on your beliefs. So apparently, in some religion, the reason why children can see is because they are so close to death.
Right. Okay.
So because they just came out from the mom's womb,
Yeah.
they're still very much connected to the spirit world.
Yeah.
Therefore, they are sensitive.
Right.
And the older you get, your strength as a human and your soul becomes stronger, so you
Yeah.
are more immune to this stuff lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so spiritual strength also. So that's what I've heard. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So wait. Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant is not that pleasant for the living. Probably very pleasant for the dead though.
I mean, if the living are not going by Mount Pleasant because they're scared of the dead, then it's a very quiet place for them, lah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
pleasant place lah.
I will say, like, I was about to move on to our next location, but I will say, like, when you talk about like cemeteries being very, we talk about cemeteries being very quiet and very peaceful places.
Yeah.
Like the Japanese cemetery, I mean, we had the Japanese cemetery, near Yio Chu Kang Road. It's like very nice place.
It is.
It's a very lovely park.
I've been there. I mean, that is being taken care of by a caretaker. Yeah, many houses like the citizens that were living in Singapore during the Japanese occupation.
Sex workers, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
sex
So
workers
a
as
large
well.
majority of them were
Yeah.
sex workers that they otherwise wouldn't, sadly enough, wouldn't have had proper graves or proper burials. But I can't remember who it was.
Very peaceful place.
Yeah, somebody built a place for them. But yeah,
Interesting.
all right. Since
Next place
let's move on to the
to
next
our
place.
neighbors.
We'll-
Plus 60. Is it 60?
I'm not gonna say otherwise. I already screwed up by going. I don't know who was the one that bought Pulau Serangoon. Next we're gonna move up north a little bit. To Shah Alam. I will start talking about this place by not saying whose house it is.
Wait, Shah Alam is where?
Oh man.
Yes,
Don't
I
do
was
this to me.
right. I was right.
Sarawak?
Wrong.
Selangor.
Yeah, you almost died, yeah, you. Yeah, you were this close. You said plus 60 is the country code for Malaysia, our neighbor up north, and it's in the state of Selangor.
okay
And
lah.
Shah Alam, yeah. Shah Alam is in the state of Selangor.
I'm a Singaporean, so if all our Malaysian fans and my Malaysian friends were like, "Oh, he got it wrong," what a shocker! that idiot can't even navigate around his own country.
Yo, represent, yo.
So, well, I am a terrible representative of the country. Like I said, my sense of direction terrible anyway lah. Yeah. So I won't say whose house this is. I'm quite sure a lot of y'all can guess.
Because saying her name apparently gives her power.
Yes.
Even in the afterlife.
Yeah. So this person used to be a celebrity. And they turned to black magic. They became a black magic practitioner. And together with either the partner and their assistant or something along those lines, murdered someone in the early 90s and was sentenced to death in the year 2001. This is a very famous case.
Yep.
I think we did, to be fair, I think we did mention this person's name on a previous episode of Dead Air. I think, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
we
quite
mentioned
possible.
quite a few times.
Yes. So because of their black magic, people still believe that this person's home is haunted by that person. It doesn't help that before they died,
She died.
she died. Yes, I see. The thing is, I was like trying to make it unclear who I was talking about.
Oh.
Then I realized that I said she at the start.
You already said she.
Yeah, I know. So, her last words before she died was, I'm not going to give the exact quote, but basically she was like, "Oh, I'm not going anywhere." Yeah. So, like, if you look at the photos of this place, it's in Shah Alam, and it's a big house. And in this big house, well, I don't know what's in the big house lah, but like the outside, it looks like nobody has touched it since 2001 or even probably before.
Nobody will buy it.
And it's a creepy ass place. Of course, nobody's gonna buy it. This one, if you're the real estate agent in charge of the place, good luck to you. But you ain't selling that place. And the rumor is that this person's spirit, because she was a practitioner of black magic towards the end, she managed to find a way to cheat death, and her spirit still roams around that place. Bear in mind, this person in life, not somebody you want to meet in a dark alley in the first place. So when dead and free of any mortal constraints, probably makes them very, very, very dangerous. Yeah.
I'm just like waiting for someone to guess.
Yeah, guys, come on, man, come on. We're making very.
I think the Malaysians in the chat will find it out.
Malaysians in the chat. Come
Or
on,
some
you-
Singaporeans lah. Because
Yeah.
it's a very famous case. It was so famous that actually it got here through news also. Like
Yeah.
it was quite the groundbreaking case.
Yeah, I remember. I
Yeah.
think it was probably one of the interestingly enough, I think she was one of the first. I hate to use this word famous killer because it almost like glorifies or makes killers and
Yeah,
celebrities.
one of the
Yeah.
lah because of how who she killed.
Yeah, who she killed, who she was. You know, it when I was a kid, I heard about her. Like I heard about the case. My parents, of course. No,
Wait,
no.
were you a kid in the 90s?
Yes.
Okay. No, I'm just like, can you consider teenager a kid?
I was a teenager in the mid-90s.
But teenager
no,
not
the-
really a kid, what? Teenager
No,
is
no,
a
no.
teenager.
I was a teenager in the mid-90s. Early 90s. The murder was committed in the early 90s. Then all through the 90s, I think like, you know, there was the legal crap that, you know, that was
Legal crap.
the legal process to the trial and all that stuff lah. But yeah, like early 90s, I was a kid and I heard about it, and like I was probably like, I don't know, like 8 or something like that. I can't try and do the maths. No, I was probably closer to like 11 or something along those lines. And I remember my folks talking about it also. So like you would think to yourself, don't talk about this kind of case in front of your children. But no, parents
Yeah,
no restraint.
no.
Yeah. So I remember hearing about this. I was like, what's black magic? And then like, you know, they'll just talk about it. Like completely, you know, the kid in the room was like, oh yeah, then she did this, then she did that. I was like, that sounds horrible. Why would you say this in front of me? Then give me nightmares. But yeah, I remember hearing about her and I didn't think about this case for the longest time. And then like we were just talking about I can't remember how the
No,
conversation.
we talked about it because there was a film made about it.
Yes, yeah.
The film got banned, right?
I think so.
It got banned or something, right?
Yeah.
And then they allowed the release, and then they released the film.
Yes, yeah.
Only recently, like
Yep.
in the past 5 to 6 years,
Yeah.
it got released.
Yeah.
I seen parts of it. It's quite.
Yeah. So yeah, her house, and we will move away from her house now, but Malaysians in the crowd or any Singaporeans or anybody who knows this case, mention it in the comments.
I'm just gonna go for the toilet break.
All right.
You continue with the Malaysia one.
No. I'm moving away from the Malaysian one now. But I'm just waiting to see whether anybody leaves any comments on there. So ironically enough, while he's going for his toilet break, I'm going to be talking about move up north a little bit more. There is a place in. Okay. I'm not gonna touch anything because the technical side I think Carl will handle. But at least one person has mentioned the case I was talking about from Malaysia. We'll get back to that in a little bit. But first, there is a place in Bangkok called and I know I'm gonna mispronounce this, the Saffron Unique Tower. It is an uncompleted tower. Apparently, like 80% of it was built, and then like, you know, construction just stopped. I think it was because of the financial crisis in the 90s. That's why it stopped, and they never finished it. This place, the Saffron Unique Tower, has earned the nickname the Ghost Tower. So, you know, not very subtle in terms of its nicknames. A lot of urban explorers go down there. A lot of people go down there, take photos and everything, I imagine lah. But oh, thank you, Kyle. Wonderful man. See. No, I was saying that Uncle Zaku has guessed it already, but I was waiting for you to come back. I was waiting for you to come back so that I don't touch anything, and then suddenly the live stream ends.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get back to Saffron Unique Tower in a bit. Uncle Zaku,
He got it. Yeah.
You got it.
I'm not gonna say her name.
Still not gonna say your name. But yes,
Yeah.
that's who we're talking about.
Yup.
Yeah, so going back to the Saffron Unique Tower, lots of urban explorers, lots of people who go down there, take photos and everything.
Yep.
But it's earned a reputation for being haunted. I mean, first of all, it's not the construction was never finished. So,
Yep.
you know, even though it's because of, you know, the financial crisis and everything, rumors start to circulate. But then one of the rumors that I read was that I don't know how true this is, but it's built, the land on which it's built is a former graveyard. So immediately you're like, well, that sounds like something out of at least 50% of the ghost stories we've heard. So yeah, built on a former graveyard, which means that there are probably, if it is true, probably lots of roaming spirits around there. It also doesn't help that because you've got all these urban explorers and all these people, these photographers coming down and take like pictures of the place and everything. Apparently, there was at least one death at the ghost tower in Bangkok. So one death. Yeah. That's enough to push things over the, no pun intended, but that's enough to push things over the edge, and like everybody's like, yep, it's haunted now. Whether the place is haunted by the person who died on there, or whether the person died because of the supernatural having an influence. But yeah, so Saffron Unique Tower. I didn't hear about this until we started thinking up this.
Sathon. Yeah.
Sathron. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sathon, the tower, you got halted. The construction got halted in the 1997 because of the Asian financial crisis.
Yeah.
So only 80% complete, and it's a very, very prominent abandoned building.
Yeah.
In fact, in the world, because it's 47 stories. Imagine a 47-story abandoned building. It's just right smack in the middle of in the middle of Bangkok. So yeah, so a lot of people went there to urban exploration.
Yeah.
And obviously there were a few deaths here and there inside the tower.
Yeah.
Actually the tower was a set of the Thai horror film The Promise.
Oh really?
Yeah. Like they actually used the whole tower as a set. Like it's mostly set in the tower. So this film I watched it. It's basically about like these two friends that trigger warning that said that they're gonna take their own lives together, and then one didn't go through with it, and then the other came back as a ghost to haunt the hell out of that other best friend. So yeah, that's messed up, but so
not the healthiest of friendships.
Not the healthiest of friendship. Yeah, so that is the story then, and it's set in that place.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, because some of you know that I'm actually half Thai, so I visit Thailand quite often. So I've seen the tower, not up close, because I'm not interested in that urban exploration anymore lah.
Yeah.
But I took the train and then I passed by it before. It's quite magnificent when you see up close, and when you go by the there's a Thai river, right, where you take the Thai cruise, you can see it quite prominently as well. It's actually very strange because it's black in color. So it's like almost like the Lord of the Rings Eye of Sauron.
The exterior was never built or something like that, right?
They never finished the exterior.
Yeah.
Some part of it is, but like towards the top part, you can see everything exposed. Yeah.
Because I've known of other like these high-rise buildings that were never completed. Like I think it's I want to say South America. I can't remember which part of South America, but there's one place like that, and then it's become like it's almost become a community for homeless people in that tower. Like they've built their own neighborhood around there, and it seems somewhat self-sufficient as well. Like they have like a barber shop and everything down there and everything. So it's one of those places that got repurposed, and construction was never finished and was repurposed by the living to be something kind of homely and wholesome as well. But I know I'm mispronouncing this. Sathon.
Yeah.
Sathon Unique Tower in Bangkok. Apparently slightly less wholesome, and slightly more haunted as well.
Yeah. Like the most famous one was a pair of YouTubers, Western YouTubers. They went over there and spent the whole night on the highest floor.
Why?
They sleep there.
Why?
Because they can. That one really balls deep. That one. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to say it right now. I don't care how many social media followers we get. I'm not placing any bets on us spending a night in a haunted place.
I would do it, but I won't do it in Sathon Tower because
no.
The building is abandoned.
Yeah.
And me and abandoned buildings don't do well.
Oh
together.
Yes.
The whole falling down the thing.
At this point in time, I think it's quite famous.
Yeah.
How you and abandoned buildings.
No, and it's not just that. It's because I see it as like it's dangerous lah because
Yeah.
it's so old, it's not maintained, so you
Yeah.
don't know the structural integrity of that building.
Yeah.
So it's dangerous lah.
I'm still.
I mean, if you ask me to go to a cemetery, sure, yeah,
No.
it's a cemetery is cemetery. It's not 49 story. You won't fall to death from 49
no,
story.
no, no. Okay.
Right?
Like, that's the thing. Like, if we're going to a cemetery to record an episode of Dead Air, once we hit, what was it, 10,000 Facebook,
Facebook and then our Instagram.
10,000 Facebook and Instagram followers. If we're doing that, if we're recording an episode on it and then we leave and we don't spend the night, if I don't have to sleep in the place, I'm not gonna say I'm okay with it, but it's slightly less terrifying.
Fair enough.
Because it's bad enough that we're there. I don't want to get to the point where I'm letting my guard down by sleeping in the place as well.
Yeah.
That's
I'll ensure that there will be protection.
That brings me some level of comfort.
Yep.
I will tell you that much. That brings me some level of comfort. Not a whole lot, because it's still a cemetery, but some level. We talking about milestones.
Yes.
That's what you're going for, right?
Yeah. I already opened it up. So as you guys can see, we just hit a 1,000 followers on Instagram, which is quite the achievement.
Yeah.
Thank you for the support. Thanks to everyone who's following us on Instagram.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah. So as we previously mentioned a few podcasts, we have not forgotten about it. Episodes before, we were deciding whether to give you guys a mini milestone, and we already agreed that we will give you a mini milestone. The milestone is once we hit a certain amount of number within 1,000 something, 1,000 or 1,001 or 1,101, I don't know. Wayne will accompany me to one of the haunted locations to film my HANTU visuals. HANTU visuals being like, the creepy images that you see on our Instagram, on Facebook, on our YouTube videos, the ones that accompany ghost maps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those visuals have to be filmed by someone, which is me.
Yes.
And throughout the 3 years, he has not followed me at once.
Because I'm a coward.
Yes. And now we have 1,000 followers. So he has to do it. He said that he will do it. But now we need to decide on the number. So it's 1,000. Can I create a poll on this?
Wait. What? Wait, hang on. Decide on the number. What number are we talking about here?
No, which number where you go? Okay.
Oh, which episode number?
No, not which episode number. So which number do you go with our followers? Okay, I'll give you guys a selection.
Oh, come on, we're already at 1,000. I know exactly what they're gonna pick.
No, not necessarily.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
And to be clear, when I follow Kyle to shoot the creepy visuals, I will chronicle it on my I guess my phone. We'll see how we're gonna do it lah. But somehow or another,
we will film it down.
we will film me following Kyle to there you go.
Yeah.
We will film me following Kyle to get the footage and the visuals for ghost maps.
Yeah.
And we will film my reaction to being in these creepy places.
Yep.
So that you all get to enjoy laughing at what a coward I am. So there you go. Kyle has put up in the comments, or we're gonna do a banner at the bottom, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna put the banner at the bottom now. Tell us.
Let us know which number is the best for us to go.
Yeah.
How many followers we need for Wayne to accompany me.
Okay. So for those of y'all who haven't who didn't see just now when Kyle flashed it across the screen, we are already at 1,000 for Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we just wait.
If you vote option 1, that means automatically the next time Kyle's going to shoot visuals, I have to follow him. If you vote option 2,
1,001.
then
I can just create another account.
oh, come on. No. Hey, this is honor system now here, okay? Don't create your own separate Instagram account. Option 2 is we just need one more follower before I'm following
There's
Kyle.
2 of them saying 2.
So, yep, WSA and hi, Dennis. Dennis are saying that, option 2 where it's 1,001 followers on Instagram.
Yep.
I like how option 3 isn't that far off either.
1,011. No, nice one. 1,001, 1,001,
No, it's nice. It's a nice number. I don't disagree. It's not that it's a nice number.
Yep.
It's just, not that far off.
It is not that far off.
To be fair, these first three options, if you pick one of them, it's really not going to make that much of a difference to me at this point. Although we appreciate every single... I see a 4. I see somebody voted for...
Okay, Perry's quite nice. Perry say 4, 1,111.
I like that. That gives me 111 followers to
More.
brace myself.
Not that far. We're quite fast.
It's not that far. I'm quite happy that we've been doing quite well on Instagram, but still.
Uncle Zaku say 1,001.
You see that? I like the following comment.
And Nazi AQ says, I just follow. Now we gained 2 followers, 1,002. I guess I think we give it a while. I give it a bit of chance, right? See if there's anyone who pick like...
Okay, wait. Okay. I'm gonna put this out there, and you guys let us know how you feel about this, okay? Now we're at 1,002 followers, right?
Yeah.
If by the end of this episode of Dead Air, hear me out. I'm not going to be unreasonable about this. If by the end of this episode of Dead Air, we can get 1,011 followers, we make it official. I will follow you to shoot the creepy visuals next time.
No, but like you're going to do it anyway. Because
I'm obviously going to do it anyway. But like just to make it interesting,
Okay.
like rally our fans.
So how many are you going to go? So if by the end of this live stream, right, let's say like within the next 1 hour, and then we gain 1,011, like we hit 1,011, how many visuals, HANTU visuals you're gonna follow with? Like one session is not enough because you're gonna do it anyway. You're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So you need to entice them.
Okay,
it's not
okay,
about
okay.
me. I have to go.
Okay. How about this? 5 sessions.
Holy shit.
Hey, I do it for the fans, man.
5 sessions. Okay, so guys, right now Wayne is saying if by end of tonight, before we sign off, and I check, if we have 1,011 followers on our Instagram, he will follow me to go and film HANTU visuals 5 times. 5 times.
5 times.
5 times.
5 times.
Okay?
I like how I'm not doing this in front of
instead of 1 time.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 times.
Calvin is saying 13 sessions.
Wow, Kelvin.
I mean, it's on
Why,
brand.
man?
It's on brand.
Why? It is.
Okay.
Why, man?
Okay. You are on, good sir. You are on.
Alright.
Okay, let's do this.
All right.
Can you type it like if Wayne, if you're better in English, just type it.
Can hear the keyboard clacking,
Yeah.
right?
No, your Y never.
What?
Your,
See lah, typing in the middle of an episode. You see, this is engaging content, isn't it?
yep.
Okay, so if we get 1,011 followers on Instagram by the end of this episode, and then I've got typos all on here. If we can get 1,011 followers by the end of me typing the sentence, right, I'll up it to 6. Okay? Because clearly I'm typing very slow. You're checking, right? Basking.
No,
checking
I'm not
Instagram.
checking. I'm just like,
If we get 1,011 followers on Instagram by the end of this episode, I will follow Kyle to 5 creepy locations. Okay?
for HANTU visuals.
HANTU.
Alright.
Alright? Okay?
Good sir. Let's go. Okay, he has made it official. Let's
I
check.
have made it official.
Now we have 1,009 followers.
Son of a...
I knew that was gonna happen. Wow, that is a lot.
All right, we want to make this interesting. I will do this. What we have on the banner right now, I will do this. So 1011. By the end of this episode, 5 locations.
Wait. I got a very important question. Who is in charge of Teddy Boy's Instagram?
Who?
Who is in charge of Teddy Boy's Instagram?
What's Teddy Boy?
Oh, okay. I kind of know.
Wow.
I kind of know. Like, Uncle Zago says that, deal, I have 6 IG accounts. Be careful of what you wish for. Yep. Will Wayne appear in any of those videos? Okay, so HANTU visuals is just purely visuals, photos and videos. We do that. But we could probably do a special video where Wayne will be scared shitless. Kind of like a vlog thing.
I mean,
then we'll see the behind the scenes of me doing it, I guess.
Since we have like all you guys on here, what do you think? Do we do it as a TikTok video? Do we do it as a series of YouTube shorts also?
I don't know. We can just do it as like a we'll plan.
We could do it literally as its own episode of a special edition episode of Dead Air. Dead Air, Wayne's Frightened Edition.
Oh my
Wayne
God.
the Coward Edition. How many are we up to now?
Bro, you're doomed.
Oh, that I know. Clearly.
1009.
No. Look again.
Oh Lord. Guys, well done, guys. 1011 followers just like that. Oh, nice. Well done, guys. You see his face, priceless. Yeah. Maybe we should do more of this so that we can hit the 10,000 faster, so that we can do the live stream at the cemetery faster. I don't know, man. I thought it would be harder.
What's our... Yeah, so did I, clearly. What's our Facebook count now?
It's 1,005, I think.
No, our Facebook count is 1,005, right?
Yeah. You still want to bet with them,
No. Okay, I'll make this slightly more unreasonable since I've already lost one bet, okay? Actually, no, I'll make this... No, it's still quite unreasonable, lah. Okay? If we get... How do I sweeten the deal for the Dead Air at the cemetery?
It's 10,000.
No, 10,000 is 10,000, but if we can get 10,000 by the end of the next episode of Dead Air.
Oh my God.
How do I sweeten it for them?
It's insane lah. Cannot lah. 10,000 by the end of...
Well, we didn't think we were going to get 11 followers by the end of this episode, right? And look what happened.
No lah. We have to be reasonable. Come on. 3,000 Facebook followers. Now we're at 1.6k on Facebook. If we hit 3,000 on Facebook...
let's make it a little bit more difficult lah.
Okay.
4,000.
Yeah, like, you see, like one of them is saying like Facebook is harder though, not so easy to make alternate accounts, I think, which is true.
It is true.
Yeah.
But that's we want to add a challenge to this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Akazaku had 6 accounts that
for his work,
contributed
it's
to
for his
this.
work. By the way, Uncle Zaku, we need to talk about Teddy Boy. Teddy Boy is basically a comic version of the Kuatzai films. Yeah, so
Okay.
he's clearly involved in that. I need to talk to him about it separately. But
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. Back to the thing. I think what would make more sense is using Instagram as a main pusher. Anyway, our Facebook not as active as our Instagram. Or
Alright,
TikTok.
Fair enough.
Or you want to play TikTok also?
No, I'm scared of how fast TikTok is.
Yeah,
growing
our
for us.
TikTok is growing quite fast.
So yeah, no. All right. I can't believe we went on the sidetrack.
Okay, so never mind. We'll just leave it as Wayne is following me on 5 more under visuals. I got more than I wanted. 1 is enough, but he gave 5. So okay, let's do 5 then. Yep.
Not only that, but y'all get to see this as well when we release the videos of me.
We will do a video somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So moving on back to the haunted locations. Actually, this is mostly from my research.
Yeah.
Japan. Yeah. It's actually something that I've been wanting to do, like a place that I've been wanting to do. And I'm a big fan of Kawabana. The Japanese horror podcast. Yeah, so really, really good content. So it's about this lady who has stayed in Japan for 10 years and she has collected a lot of Japanese horror stories, like translated, like manually. So she go to 4chan and stuff and get stories, and I think her own experience as well. So she wrote a book. She wrote a few books, which I also have bought, and then she tells the stories on her podcast lah.
I think when we started the air, so we were saying like, you know,
Yeah,
if for some if we can get her on the air, that would be amazing also lah. I don't suppose
I will try.
Yeah, I don't suppose any of y'all know
will
her
try.
personally.
Yeah.
If y'all do, well, you know.
Yeah, I will try. So the first story is actually set in Osaka. So Osaka is in the Kansai region of Japan, which is closer to the southern side. Osaka is known for being the kitchen of Japan. So it's all the good food, like very good food. Like just think of it being like probably Hokkien, like a Hokkien dialect region there. So it's one of the first places that I went to in Japan. Like everybody knows like Kyoto and Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
But Osaka is like where the food is at.
Yep.
So there was this place in Osaka. For those who actually know, have been to Osaka, there's this place called the Big Camera. So it's called the Namba's Big Camera. So it's the big camera shop. So it's like one of those like super 1980s looking camera shop, but it's like five floors. I've been to that shop myself. And when I was doing the research for this episode, I realized that actually it went through something quite tragic. Yeah. Trigger warning there's a lot of deaths. So about 3 years ago, in the late 50s, right, there was this building called the Senichi departmental store, right where the big camera shop is at. And it was basically like, you know, like your Isetan, so it has everything. So there were like a lot of people going there, and they were having having the industrial boom during that period also. So in 1972, May 13th of 1972, the place was so packed, right? People were unaware of like the upper buildings, because the upper buildings, they were like offices and like some other shops that were closed. So they were unaware of that. There was a small fire that was actually happening on the 3rd floor. And nobody know the exact cause of the fire, but it just spread out of control. And then people got trapped. And there were no fire sprinklers, there were no fire shutters, and the fire exit were all locked. So unfortunately, a lot of people died. About 96 people died during that fire.
Right.
Then mostly died from carbon monoxide poisoning, and some died from trampoline. And total of, by the end of the incident, a total of 118 people died. It was one of the deadliest departmental store fires in Japan at that point.
This was in 1970. What was it?
1970s. So now we're looking at an image. I'm not going to flash it up, but like it's a very creepy image of a burned remains of, the mannequins with a kimono. That's like super.
Yeah.
So after that tragic incident, the big camera building was built in its place. So the old building was torn down, and then they built a new building. And some people have actually reported like strange things, like, false fire announcements. People screaming and strange acting people. Then reportedly the employees that work in the Namba's big camera building, they wear like the good luck beads for protection. So yeah, and they said that there is a lot of rumors that they will hear screamings from the 7th floor, because that's where like most of the people died there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a very unfortunate incident. But then, that's the scary part. And you would think that it's just another building, because it's right smack in the middle of Shinsaibashi, which is like the shopping district of Osaka. A lot of tourists, like packed. So I never thought that it was like a site of something tragic. And the building is like super nicely lit, white lights, like super nice, like very clean camera shop building. And then you read out about it and like, oh my god, something so tragic happened. And then you remember certain memories. I remember going to the toilet, and I remember how isolated it was. It's one of those toilets that you need to go very deep, and then it's like super quiet.
Did you know about this before you visited?
No, like all my Japanese horror story, I only find out about them after I visited them.
Right.
And then I was like dumb tourists, like, oh, oh, so I guess it is haunted. I
lah,
guess it is like creepy and stuff. Yeah. So
I think that's more, to me, that's more frightening when, like, you know, when we're talking about that celebrity turned black magic practitioner earlier
Yep.
on. You look at the photos of her house. It's creepy as hell. Like it looks like your stereotypical idea of a place that's haunted. But then what's creepier is like you said, it was when the camera shop was, the fire at decimated the place. They rebuilt a new shop in its place, right?
yeah.
That's what's creepier to me, when the place looks new.
Yeah.
But then you walk down certain corridors and you have this like, something's not right.
But it's not new. Yeah.
But you're like, it's a new place, so maybe I just imagining something.
And the shop is very nice, like super nice. It's like what you would think of a camera shop would look like in Japan. It has 5 stories. I don't think there is a building that's dedicated to cameras in Singapore. A shop, yes, but not a building.
There's Peninsula. It's
No,
not
but
a
it's-
not a whole building lah. But
Yeah,
like,
but
you know,
it is that one is a whole building. Like it's just one shop. Yeah. So anyway, like I've been there. Pretty sure I stayed in a haunted Airbnb. Not that I experienced anything. Also in Osaka, walking distance from Shinsai Base. Shinsai Base is where the camera shop is. And it's like maybe 10 minutes. We walk back to our Airbnb apartment. Last room on the corridor. Last apartment on the corridor. And I remember we got in the red eye flight, so we were super tired. So we got to our Airbnb, and then it's one of those like you unlock yourself. We unlock, right? The moment I go to the end, I was like, oh no, it's the corner unit. Okay, then I open. Then Japanese apartments, right? They have a double door system.
Yep.
So you open the door, it's like a small foyer to put your shoes and stuff.
Yep.
And then you have another door to your apartment. The second door had a broken glass. It was a broken window. It's one of those like frosted windows, so you can kind of see what's inside. Then you had that frosted window is broken, like it's like cracked and then it's partially crashed. And I was like, oops.
it's one of those things where like if one of them, okay lah, corner unit creepy, broken glass creepy. Then
Then I looked at my
together,
girlfriend
right,
at that point of time. I was like, weird, It's like, yeah. I wonder who broke it. Then we just then we went in, because open the second door, the toilet is on the left. You go straight, is the whole apartment already. Then you have like a small kitchenette, and then you have like a TV, then where you sleep. So yeah, then nothing much happened. But anyway, I'm glad we only stayed in there for one day, because we knew that we're gonna move towards a different side of Osaka. So we took another apartment, a much nicer apartment with really good ramen, by the way, downstairs. So yeah, we only stayed there for one night and nothing happened. Thank God, nothing happened. Because I keep thinking that this house either got murder happen or like super haunted. And remember the Airbnb quite cheap. So I feel like it's very sus. Like it shouldn't be this price. And it shouldn't be at the corner. And it shouldn't have broken windows. And then you start thinking, you're like, oh my God.
Wait, why can't you enjoy a good deal? Why can't you enjoy a good deal?
That's why I'm a horror creator.
You're
because
like
you keep thinking about the worst things about people, right? And then you're like,
just I got good deal at Airbnb. Must be murder.
you're okay. Come on. If
I know. Yeah.
good deal, corner unit, never mind.
To be fair,
Glass broken.
I will probably think the same thing as well.
Yeah, but you will still stay because it's a good deal, right? But then you'll be on guard. You'll be like,
I like, that's the worst for me lah. If haunted place, like for whatever reason I'm going to a haunted place and a good deal and everything is one thing, but if I have to sleep down there,
yeah.
don't do this
See,
to me.
a couple of them know what I'm talking about. Like Angela has nowhere
Right.
is the big camera shop. Dennis has been to the camera shop also. Yeah, like, yeah, it's weird, right? It doesn't feel like a place of tragic. Yeah, Calvin, yeah, we want to get Kawabana. If you know somehow to get her, please let us know. I want to reach out to her. Yeah, so eventually maybe we'll get her. But on the very top of the list, and I just spoke to him about it, is Russell Lee, man.
Oh yeah.
Russell Lee, if you're watching this, we are big fans. We want to get you. And don't worry, we will hide your identity like how we hide Teddy's identity.
Yeah.
You're all good, right?
Yeah. I think it will just generally be nice if we could get more horror creators on the show also. Like, don't get me wrong, I love having people who are not connected to horror come and share their ghost stories because that's always fun.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think like we also wanna speak to other horror careers. I think that's as much for you guys, it's as much for us as it is for you guys as well lah. Because like it's be nice to share notes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
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 Especially like horror creators from other. Like I remember us working with another Filipino horror
Yeah,
creator.
yeah. Yeah.
Those guys. Yeah, those were that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on, we go even more downwards. Okinawa. So Okinawa, Japan, is an island. So think of it like the Hawaii of Japan. So it was annexed in like a couple hundred years ago. It was used to be its own nation by Japan. Then it was annexed by Japan. They have the Ryukan or Ryuk. I don't want to pronounce it wrongly, but they have their own natives there. And unfortunately, during the World War II, it suffered quite the war from the US. The US actually attacked Japan.
Yep.
Attacked Okinawa lah. So they landed a force, and even till this day, there's a very huge US base called the Haneda Air Base. That's based there. The Marines are so a lot of US. There's a lot of US citizens that are also there, based there, working there. As of now, I've been to Okinawa myself For work.
Yeah.
So I've actually did a few research on Okinawa story. And ironically, it's actually from America. So it was stories that told by active servicemen who were based in Okinawa for a long period. Yeah. So actually a lot of my favorite horror creators have actually covered this story. Like Corpse Husband, Lazy Masquerade. They have actually covered like a few stories. Darkness Previews as well, from Okinawa. So yeah. But the only difference is that I've actually been there. Right. It is creepy at night.
I mean, you kena something at Okinawa. Right?
I mean, not ghost lah. I don't know, but I will get into that later. Yeah. So I've experienced something in Okinawa, but I don't think it's ghost. I just think it's pure bad decision. So from the website military.com. So it's as American as it gets.
Yep.
So in Canada, Kadena Air Base, Kadena Air Base, which is the huge US Air Base in Okinawa.
I like how, by the way, I'm looking over there as if I'm going to pronounce it any better. You know?
Kadena Air Base, there is a huge grassy clearing located in a secured area, so it is like secured, right? And one night, one Air Force security policeman, which is the security forces, security trooper lah, decided to stake out the grounds and see whether it was really haunted, because Okinawa, right? And decided, and then that's when he saw an entire regiment of Japanese soldiers, like not like modern soldiers, but like World War II soldiers, marching towards his police car. And Okinawa, for your context, is about 1,001 square meters in terms of size. That's about close to maybe 40% larger than Singapore. So Singapore is small, right? But it's slightly larger than Singapore. So obviously you see, the World War II soldiers marching towards you, and a whole battalion, even if they were human, you would back off, right? And so he basically do a 3-point turn, and then he back off from his police car. Yeah. He's like, nope. And then he refused to get it. And apparently, he says that it was almost close to 100 soldiers. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. So the famous backstory is that the Japanese Imperial forces, when they knew that the Americans were gonna land in Okinawa, they basically a lot of them committed seppuku. Basically they refused to surrender lah. So they rather take their own lives lah. And they made the civilians did it also, and they also, so there were a lot of deaths on the island. So like that death there was everywhere lah, right? And there was this particular cave that was also like filled with death. So it's this place where it's very nice for snorkeling. It's called the Maeda Point in Okinawa. So it's apparently one of the best snorkeling sites in the world. So and apparently it's a standing order for the U.S. service branch to tell American soldiers to avoid walking alone in that area at night, because U.S. men were being harassed by spectral Japanese women, so Japanese female ghosts lah, that will attack them, and then will drag them off the cliffs, because Okinawa is quite a lot of cliffs on, so they will do that, and then there's another one, so because the air base, right, is so huge, so for a slight context, it's roughly about the size of Paya Lebar Air Base, for our Singaporean listeners, so or people who stay in Singapore. So Paya Lebar is in a military air base, mainly a military air base. It's very big. So this entire space is American military installation, and then they also have living quarters. So there's this place called the Cardina Towers apartment. So there's this apartment unit that is very haunted. Allegedly, when the author of the article, they went to visit, right, to do like a seance, they found out that there is an invisible child who can actually walk through walls, and turns out the towers, and this is a fact, the Canada Towers, the apartment buildings that were built for the soldiers to stay in, they were built on top of the tombs of a very prominent samurai clan who lived on the islands for about 250 years. And even though it was blessed, but
I mean, you know. if you're gonna start from the point of building on a grave, like, blessings are nice, but you kind of skip the first step of just not building on graves lah. Maybe just try to find some place where there wasn't a cemetery down there. That's always, I think that's just generally good practice when it comes to building anything. Just like, wow.
So there was another place called the Nakagusuku Hotel. So very similar to the Coney Island. So it actually was a hotel that was supposed to be like a Disneyland kind of thing, but more of a feudal Japan feel, right? But it was abandoned even before it could finish. So apparently the locals warned the developer that not to build there because it was actually a land that was inhabited by spirits. So and it had ancient Buddhist burial sites. So the developers didn't care lah. Then a lot of accidents, so they just abandoned. I'm thinking more of financial reasons. Like something happened financially, and then they just abandoned it. I think that was probably what happened. And now it's like a site that you shouldn't go in Okinawa.
Well, for some of the greediest people in the world, losing money is more frightening than seeing ghosts lah.
Oh yeah. That's pretty much So actually this list is quite the list. Oh, I remember I wanted to talk about it. Like, okay, so now we talked about Osaka, Okinawa, right? We move back up to northern side, Tokyo. So there is this very famous tunnel called the Sendagaya Tunnel.
I have never heard of this.
In Tokyo. So if Uncle Zaku is still around, you can actually back me out on this. So this tunnel, right, is close to Shibuya and Harajuku. So it's like this. It's a very, very small tower. So built for the 1946 Tokyo Olympics, it was constructed over a cemetery, and there is a lot of ghostly sightings. And you just look on it, like on YouTube. There's a lot of people going there to explore. It's a very small tunnel only. It's not that big. And apparently you go there, you get mysterious handprints on your car, and then they will see female ghosts and stuff. The interesting thing is that it's very similar to another tunnel in nearby Taiwan, Taipei. There's this tunnel in I don't know if it's Taipei or not, but it's in Taiwan. So, and the tunnel actually cuts through a cemetery. So the cemetery is on top of the tunnel.
Basket. What? The ghosts need fast access to somewhere.
I don't know. So apparently they didn't want to exhume. Then just nice the tunnel can be underneath.
Oh wait, so they didn't exhume the bodies. They didn't.
I think it affected some of it, but most of it was intact. But the cemetery is, so your car just go through. Imagine PIE, right? Then on top is cemetery.
Honestly, that's kind of nice.
No.
I mean, as long as the grays weren't messed with.
No,
that's
because apparently what happened is that when there is heavy rain, then some of the juice from what's on top will
That's,
drip down, and on top of that, a lot of apparitions started appearing in the highway.
That's,
So there's one very famous one is a female will ask a guy, "Hey, can you send me home?" And then when they reach, it's like some abandoned building, but there's no person there. So I find it very interesting because there's parallels. Because this tunnel is very similar to the one that is in Taiwan. This one is smaller. Yeah.
Going back to the tunnel, I think the only thing that jumped out at me that I thought, okay lah, this one maybe can logically explain. The mysterious handprint on the car. Maybe your car dusty.
Yeah.
Everything else got no explanation.
I would-
The mysterious handprint on the car, like, clean your car, man.
I would never believe if it was a thing.
Yeah.
It's the last thing I'll believe because it's like, come on, some people cars, they are just filthy.
Yeah.
Right?
So wash
and
your
it
car,
could be
man.
a random guy just,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So, like people, like sometimes people, they walk, then they will touch your car. It could be just that. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, most of the time it's not. Yeah.
I mean, it's much more inventive way of annoying people with dirty cars than like, see the dust down there, then you put the word, like, write the word penis in the dust or something like that.
Yeah.
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 It's much more interesting to scare the crap out of people lah.
Yeah. So going back, right, to my story is basically I was there to go to this place called Ogimi. Ogimi is one of the 4 blue zones on Earth. Blue zones.
I'm gonna pause for a second. You keep going. I'll be right back.
Okay, he go pee. So Ogimi is actually one of the 4 blue zones of Earth. Blue zones meaning the places is basically the people who stay in the blue zones, they live the longest. So like we have people like 99, 100. Yeah, so Ogimi in Okinawa, no surprise, they live the longest, one of the longest. So that area itself is very mountainous. Like it's in the middle of Okinawa. So when you land on probably the top part of Okinawa. You can drive down. So I was doing a project there with a client, and just the 2 of us. And then we stayed in a really, really nice mountain cabin. Like legit mountain cabin. Like when you open your window, it's the cliff. And you can see forest, everything. Very beautiful location. In the day lah. So when it's at night, right, it's a different thing. Because it's a mountain cabin. So a cabin, right, is like everything you can see one. So there's no rooms. So there's the bed, level 1. There's a level 2, there's another bed. There's no door. And there's the toilet. And you just can see everything. It's like probably like 3 stories high. But then there's no actual barriers lah. So that place gave me the creepy vibes lah. To be honest, very creepy vibes at night. And I was staying alone one. Like then my client had her own like cabin. So it's like 2 cabins side by side. And then we went out for dinner. And because it's a mountainous region, there are no street lights. We have to use high beam. So it's very dark. It's like mountain roads. Roads were fine, not much potholes, We drove to dinner, and then we went up to the mountains to film a scene. So we wanted to shoot some astrology scenes. It's quite crucial for the project that we're working on. And they had like the fan. What's the fan thing, Win?
I can mention time. What fan thing?
Like to generate electricity, wind turbines, wind turbines. Wind turbines. So they had like one of those giant wind turbines, and we were up on the mountains. We were trying to get some shots of the astro time lapse. So like night scenes so it's completely dark, and in the day it's a tourist site lah. But at night there's no lights. It's just creepy as hell. It's just the 2 of us in the car on top of the mountain. Okay, we went up the mountain pass already.
Yeah.
And then I set up my camera and I'm just shooting, and it's like about close to almost 0 degrees. It's quite cool. And then for some reason, I don't know why, because I haven't started doing horror. This was 2017. So I haven't started doing horror, so I was like oblivious. I was like, this is I didn't even care that Okinawa was so haunted, right? I knew of Okinawa's history, but it
You're just
didn't.
there for work, lah.
I was just like, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Then I was like, I told my client, okay, you sit in the car. Then my camera is outside because it's cold, right? Then this is about the car. I went to the toilet. The toilet on the mountain pass, on the mountain pass with the wind turbine, right? In the car park, they have a car park for you to sightsee. Yeah. The toilet had no lights, bro. It had no doors. It's one of those outdoor toilets, but it has shelter lah. Just went in.
Poop or pee?
Pee. But I just went, like alone. Like I just didn't think of anything.
Okay
I
lah.
didn't think that maybe got hantu. I didn't think maybe got chicha. I mean,
Okay, yeah, no.
but Japan no chicha because cold. It's
fair
like
enough.
almost 0 degrees.
Fair enough.
And it was raining. I remember. So the shot wasn't good because it was raining. The weather was bad. So took down the camera. Then went back. So it's okay. It's about 11. Let's go
Right.
back. By the way, sun sets at 5 p.m. So as we were going down the mountain pass, and we were using GPS on Google, which was the terrible thing to do because Google Maps is not that reliable in certain countries, especially in Okinawa because it's an island. I don't think they send the Google truck there all the time.
Google, if you want to sponsor us, you can still sponsor us though.
So she decided, I don't blame my friend, she decided to actually take a right onto an abandoned road.
Yeah.
While the GPS was saying, I think the GPS told her to take a right. And I said, no lah, that road looks abandoned. Yeah. Why don't we just take the older road? She wants to get back faster lah. So she decided to go. And she went in. It's an abandoned road, like straight up. Then she high beam. She thought that, this one maybe can get back faster.
Yep.
The moment she go in, like less than 2 minutes, the car got stuck. Our car went into a ditch. So the car went like this. Like it was
Son of a ditch.
like this. Like it was stuck. Okay? And this is the cliff. Like down. Not really a cliff, like just a slope.
Slope lah.
All the way down.
Yeah.
Like so it got stuck like that. And then the first thing that I thought of was, okay, let me get out of the car and let me try to pull the car out. I don't know why. I was young and stupid. I just got out of the car. Let me try to pull the car out. A car, like a proper SUV out. Yeah, I tried. Then she ref. Cannot. It just wouldn't move.
Okay, were you thinking of pulling the car out or pushing the car out?
Pulling and both. Just stupid.
The,
And it
the,
was
the, pull,
raining,
the pull a bit dumb lah.
and it was raining, and we were in the middle of forest with no lights at all. The only lights that came were from our car, our high beam. And yeah, then I didn't feel creepy, like I should, because thinking back, right? Ooh, that was my stomach.
That was your stomach. Okay, good.
Yeah.
We haven't included sound effects for this
Yeah.
episode, okay?
So thinking back, right? I feel like it was probably something lah. I don't know, because our car just went into a ditch and it couldn't come out.
Yeah.
It just won't come out. Yeah, and so we got stuck there. We chill for a bit, and then we realized that shit, this is bad.
Yeah.
Because the main city, Naha, in Okinawa, is 2 hours away. We're stuck in the middle of nowhere. We have an Airbnb post, so we called them, and they're like, okay, let us get you.
Okay lah.
We wait for 1 hour. They came. They were on the other side. They couldn't find us. They just couldn't find us. They couldn't find us for like a good 2 hours. By that point, right, I think it was almost close to 2:30 a.m. And then when they found they were near us, they got stuck. And at this point, right, my client was like, screw it. Let's go on foot.
Okay.
I was a bit apprehensive. I was like, walao, it's raining and it's Okinawa. At this point, the reality hits me already. Oh, this is dangerous, man. Like, and by the way, Okinawa has a lot of there's a type of rattlesnake that is native to Okinawa. And one bite is lethal. Yeah. So the whole island is filled with them. So I was like, okay, let's go. Then I took my stuff, all my equipment, and we disembarked the car. We just left the car there. And then we just walked. We walked all the way down. Yeah, it was super creepy. Like at that point, I was like, "Oh my god, this is dangerous. I'm gonna die here." I'm like, "Shit."
You've told me the story before. I can't remember whether
But
we've
not
talked.
to that detail.
No, not to that detail. One thing, the key detail you left out the last time, right? The snake.
Yeah. I only found out-
Suddenly that becomes the
Yeah.
more frightening part
Yeah.
of the story. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to get bitten by a snake.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
it's a poisonous snake.
Yeah, I don't want to accidentally like mess up the habitat and then they go, the hell, man, this is my house. Nyeh. Yeah.
Oh no, venomous.
Venomous.
Venomous is the one that you bite you then die, right? Poisonous is the one you eat then you die, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so we went back and then we found the host. They were so nice to us. Oh my god! And then we got their car out, and then they drove me back
Right.
to the cabin, and they left me there.
I mean, you're not stuck outside now, so I think
No,
it's okay
they left
lah.
me there, then alone, and the cabin was on another mountain pass. So I was alone on this mountain pass, and then my client and them went back to get their car. So because they needed to get like real people to bring
Right,
the
right,
car
right.
out to like really pull them out.
How long were you in the cabin?
By the time I reached cabin, it's about 3:30 a.m.
Right.
So I was alone there until like 8.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, no. So they went back to get the car. They got the professional and like and then she told me, oh, you had a long day of work, you have to go rest, and I will settle the car.
Yeah.
Anyway, the car was under her insurance lah. So fair enough, but I was alone. You know, when I left, I was like, oh, thank God, I don't need to deal with the car. But then the realization hits you.
How big is this cabin?
Oh, I was telling them, we weren't around. So this cabin is, you know how cabins are, there is no doors. So it's just one lone building.
Yeah, right.
There is no like other rooms. So my cabin was one bed, toilet, TV. That's it. And then 3 stories high. And then you can climb up. It's kind of like an observatory.
Right.
Then there's like floors up there. You can like put more beds. But it's tatami style.
Right.
3 stories. I was alone.
See, if you had told
And
me...
then if there was something looking down
Yeah,
at me,
exactly.
Jesus.
It's the... Okay lah.
It's the void.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's why till this day, right? And this is a weird quirk of mine. I cannot sleep in a room with the door open.
And I cannot sleep with a room with such a high
Oh, that one, no. That one goes without saying.
And because it's like, okay, it's on the main bed, right? You look up, right? It's like level 2, level 3. Level 3 is like an observatory. Level 2, you can put more beds, but they're all empty.
Yeah.
And there's no door. So you can see everything. And there's glass.
Cannot.
Then there's like there's the sliding glass where you have the curtain, but you can slide open. Is like a small patio, then the cliff, the whole forest all dark.
Nope.
And right beside is my client's cabin. Then behind us is a bigger cabin, which is also empty. I'm alone. Then I'm like, okay, let me switch on Japanese TV, like to the loudest. Like,
Yeah. No, that's
to
what
the
I do
loudest.
as well.
Then I went to take a shower. And then I sat there realizing that, oh man, then I was like, you know what? Let me do some work. Let me start some editing.
Yeah.
I tried to edit. I couldn't. Because, like, it was raining. It's still raining, raining hard. And then the sounds of the forest very loud at night. Like, you can hear, like, animals and stuff. And then you're just like, oh man. Like, it hits you full, like, the realization that you're completely utter alone and on this mountain pass. And they are like, that place was about half an hour away.
Yeah.
So, and he asked a very important question. Why didn't I go with them? Why didn't Carl go with them? I was like, why?
I saw that comment and when I saw the comment, immediately I was already thinking, why didn't you sleep in the back of the car?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, to be fair, I understand that you go to the cabin, you're tired and everything, and then you're just like, I just want to sleep. But like in retrospect, you look at it as like, I could have slept in the back of the car.
I didn't sleep that night.
Oh yeah lah, because
Yeah.
you scared.
By
scared
the way,
shitless,
guys, by the way, for those that came for our event, the story, the client that I'm talking about is actually the owner, Shen, of Kizuna. So that's how we are very good friends.
Oh,
because
okay.
We experienced this weird thing together. Now, technically, I experienced most of it.
Yeah.
To her, it was fine. I don't know. But she had people with her. So like when she reached back the car, the Japanese car people, the mechanics were there.
Yeah.
And apparently it's common. This kind of thing happens in Okinawa all the time. There were people who almost drove down to a cliff before. Because it was so dark and the roads were like bumpy, right? They cannot see the barrier, so they
Right.
almost drove off the cliff. So the car got stuck. They have to get by people with the pulley system to pull them out.
Right.
So, my God, like, yeah, I don't know.
Did I force you to relive your trauma again?
No. It's not really a trauma. It's an interesting story. I'm glad that I experienced it. I grew personally from it. But I must say that, like, in retrospect, if you were to look at it from a very supernatural point of view, it would pretty much go back. The part where we couldn't find them, that was creepy.
Yeah.
Because we could hear them.
Yeah.
But we couldn't find them. So, like, it was like, one of the things that we did was we pressed on our horn. Because anyway, it's mountain pass. There's no people staying there. So we horn damn loud. Nothing. They can't hear us. Yeah. Then they horn
So
with-
how far away were they when their car?
Actually, weirdly enough, when we walked down,
yeah.
because it's like a winding pass, so
Yeah.
the it's an abandoned road. So the car got stuck here. We just went down about a good 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we saw them already. They were at the end of the winding pass. Their car also stuck. So we were at the front, the very front. They were at the back of the winding pass. Strange, right?
That is quite weird.
So there is a phenomenon in supernatural terms that called 鬼遮眼. So basically the ghost is blocking your vision spiritually lah. I don't know if it's that. I've never did that, and I'm pretty sure Shen doesn't really like. She's not like a believer lah.
Yeah.
So she's quite chill to it. For me, I'm like, yeah. I mean, if it happened back then, back right now with my knowledge, I think I would freak out. But back then, it's also good that, I didn't know that much. So I like, wow, whatever.
Let's be honest here. If this happened to you now, right? Your first thought, before the fear kicks in, your first thought will be, wow, this one good ghost map story. I like literally, there's been several times where weird stuff has happened to Kyle in like, I guess the last month. Yeah. And literally he opens it up with, wow, this one actually quite a good ghost map story, I tell you now. So yes, that's probably what you would have said in the first place, lah.
Yeah, I don't know. Even till now, I cannot like explain like what I actually experienced. Pretty sure it was just bad judgment call by my friend who drove into the abandoned road when I told her, no, don't drive, no, just go this way. Then she drove into the abandoned road. Yeah.
So what you try to say is, Shen, not the best navigator.
No,
great
no, no.
at cafes.
No. I'm not blaming her at any. I think without her doing that, I won't have a story. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
It's a very interesting story, and honestly, right, we could have died because if we was towards the other side, the car would have flipped and went down the mountain. So we were quite lucky, lah. So I don't know, like So that is the very creepy Okinawa story, and then so that after that, right, we did the work, and then I went back to Naha, which is the main city of Okinawa, which is like super popular, a lot of tourists.
Yep.
So I stayed one more night before I went back to Singapore, and then she left. She had to go somewhere. So at that night, right, I had a really good sleep because I had so happening, right. Then I was staying in a 5-star hotel. Wow, shiok. And then I had a thought. Then I couldn't see again. Like I was just like bored. Then I went to start to read about Okinawa, and then when you read about history, then you read about the ghost stories, and then I was like, I had a realization. Shit, man. Like I kena ghost could be kena ghost Then I like.
I like how you're in a 5-star hotel. Your first thought is like, I'll go research. It's like, alamak, could be kena ghost.
Yeah. No, we because we traveled back to the main city was a 2 hours drive.
Yeah.
So very far. And then the first thing I did was obviously check into 5-star hotel, and then we said our goodbyes. I had a nice shower, had a nice breakfast. Then I slept. The whole day I slept. I went down. Then I woke up at night. Then I went to have dinner, and I went to have a drink, right, in Naha. Then after that, I got bored because I couldn't sleep. So you scroll your phone. And then you start to read about the history lah. And then you just read into the ghost story, and then you're like, oh shit, it's at night.
Okay, when it happened to you, even before the cabin, right?
After. This was after.
No, like, okay, when y'all got stuck, and then, they were bringing you back to the cabin and everything. At any point, did you think, during that time, something supernatural? It was only later on, right, that occurred to you?
Only towards the end, before we left the car, I feel that this is weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, I was
just like, this is weird. Like, they should be able to see us. And by the way, we barely had any signal. We were fucking lucky.
Yeah.
Oops. But we were very, very lucky.
Oh no, the scariest thing of all, being demonetized on YouTube.
No, but we were like super lucky. We were super lucky because we had signal.
Yeah,
We had cell signal. No, I think she had cell signal. I didn't. I think she had a Japanese number. I didn't.
I like that's the difference between you and me. If I got to the 5-star hotel and something like this occurred to me, I would not go do research about it.
No, I'm just reading about history, ma. I was like,
the reading about history will get your imagination spiraling, right?
Yeah.
See.
Then after that, cannot sleep, right? Cannot sleep. You know what I do? I on CNA.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
watch CNA until I fall asleep.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's like the best thing. You on the live version where they just keep playing the news and then you try to sleep.
That's what I normally do when I'm in. And to be fair, I don't know whether it's just me forcing ignorance on myself. But normally when I travel, also when I go to hotels, no matter how creepy they are, right? I mean, okay, most of them I don't think about how creepy they are. I just like worst case scenario, I'll switch on the toilet light or something like that, or one of the other lights, and then I'll just go to sleep. I think there's only been 2 hotels that I've been in where one of them I had to switch on the TV. I think I was in I want to say Bali. I can't remember where exactly it was. I was there for an assignment for work when I was still working at magazines. I was there on an assignment, and there was something just very creepy about it. And to make matters worse, it's like one of those hotels. I think we were on the ground floor. It's one of the hotels where there's glass doors that will take you out. Not like there's the main door into the hotel room, but then there's also glass doors where you can open them and then go out from there also. And the glass doors obviously are covered by curtains, but it's the curtain like wasn't pulled all the way, and even when you pull it all the way, you can still kind of see like the slightly translucent like other curtain behind it, and that just gets my imagination going because one, it's a white-ish cloth that's behind, which already I'm like creepy, and then you can still kind of, no matter how much you try to pull the curtain close, you can still kind of see outside, and then it's all dark outside. I was like,
nice.
No, I don't want to deal with this. So I turned on TV. The only other time where I wish this is the incident where I wish I had a TV in the room I was staying in. Whenever I visit London, the place I normally stay is now we're going out of Asia already. So one quick trip out of Asia, then come back. Whenever I go to London, the place I always stay, I'll say the name of the place. It's a lovely place. Otherwise, it's called the Celtic Hotel. It's like a bed and breakfast, and it's old. Like a lot of buildings in London, it's old.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm normally not creeped out by the place because it's like, oh, okay, very quaint and everything. But then there was once I went with a friend to London, and we watched a horror play, which is a bad idea because I went back down there and I was like, I wish my room, the room don't even have TV at the time. So I was like, I really wish my room had TV. And it's a small room, then it's like all lights on. It's not just one light, all the lights come on now. So yes, the switching on the TV when you're freaked out in a hotel, very effective strategy, I find. It's my favorite strategy as well. Lights, great. Lights are enough. TV.
No, I mean I think drinking helps.
I got gout, so
Yeah.
I can't dull my senses with booze to save me from ghosts. Ghosts see me, so they see me like with gout, so I was like, don't want to chase him lah. No sport this one.
So Danny says that my Okinawa story is almost a We Are HANTU episode. I think so too.
I don't know why we've never turned. Well, okay, it's Okinawa and it's out of Southeast Asia lah. So
yeah, I mean we try not to approach out of Southeast Asia. The
Yeah.
furthest we will go probably Hong Kong, Taiwan.
yeah.
Because it's too far.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. That's why we also talking about it on Dead Air because it's not Ghost Maps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yep. And WSA says that I have one explanation. Kyle had titanium balls back then. Not sure what kind he has now though, and not sure I want to know. There's too much on Kyle's balls.
It is. It really is.
Okay.
But at least they're not talking about my balls.
Honestly, I think I'm braver now. I think last time I was ignorance is bliss. I was
You're
very
reckless lah.
reckless
youth
and just don't. Yeah, because the less you know, the less you are unafraid
Yeah.
of. Like how I wasn't thinking of the supernatural until I did the research. Like, oh shit.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
right.
Like now, I'm honestly more frightened to go to. Okay, yes, the creepy locations is one thing, but like, creepy hotels and everything, I'm probably more freaked
Because
out
you
about
know more. What?
exactly. So like,
Yeah.
thanks Ghost Maps for making me even more frightened of places I'm going.
I think I will still go for the work. I
Yeah.
think I will still do it, but I
Yeah.
will be very prepared.
Yeah.
Like, I think if pushed to the corner, 2017 car would probably have a heart attack and faint. But right now, 2020 car, not a challenge. If pushed to the corner, I will fight back. With all I got, like with all the knowledge I have, I will find a way to fight back.
Okay. What's your first action of fighting back? What's the first thing you do?
I'll probably do some incantation or something to fight back. Like, you're talking about spiritually, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably do that, and then I'll scold the shit out of the entity. I'll say, I have not done anything to you. Why are you attacking me? Yeah. It's like, you want to go, let's go.
I've noticed that scolding the entity or at least raising your voice seems to help.
Not for everyone.
Not for everyone. I will try to put on my brave voice, but if our theory is correct of, when you tell ghost stories, you have viewers from the beyond as well, right? They all know I'm a coward now.
Yep, they do.
So I've kind of given away, show my hand already.
Yeah. But I mean, we are respectful to a certain degree, so I think it's fine. Anyway, the lighting is weird because my webcam keeps like, we're using a webcam, we're not using a proper cam because chill session, right?
Yes.
So like there's a lot of lights now, so it keeps like changing the exposure. So don't worry, it's nothing supernatural.
We're not trying to creep.
So if like let's say I off this light, then I think it might be better. But yeah. So Angela was saying on Okinawa, on a marine base, there is a house that no one lives due to a samurai warrior spirit. Yes, I know of that house. I didn't talk about it. It's in the Kadena Air Base. It's called Building 2283. 2283.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, so nice. WSA says that.
Aww.
I think Wayne is braver than he lets on. I think so too. I think Wayne, right, like you push him to the corner and you put his loved one at risk, right? He'll probably become super brave.
Okay.
He'll buff up.
Putting loved ones at risk is one thing. I feel like, okay, fair enough. That's a whole separate thing because then, I was going to say mama bear. Okay,
Let's
just say I'm a mama bear.
Yeah,
the mama bear instinct kicks in and okay, fair enough. But on my own, run. I'll probably run. Either I'll run or I feel like best case scenario is I'll be too blurred to realize that something creepy is happening.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because like remember the story? I'm sure we told this on Did I before, the story of us at Changi Beach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we told the story. The only reason why I think I would have been fine if I would have been living in ignorance if you hadn't showed up and was so nice to the dog. Because I think in that moment, I had my suspicions, but in that moment, it kind of crystallized it. I was like, oh, something creepy is going on.
Yeah.
So I like to think that my brain has the defense mechanism of being just too blur to realize what's going on.
Yeah, some people quite blur.
Yeah.
Like there was a story that the mixologist Sam at our event, he was sharing basically he's married to Shen lah.
Yeah.
So like he was sharing like they went on a walk on Mount Sophia. Mount Sophia is like in the central part of Singapore where it's known to be also haunted.
Yep.
So he saw the swing started swinging by his own. And
yeah.
that's like a famous thing. Like it happens quite regularly. And then Shen saw it and she was like, She saw it, but she didn't think. She's like, oh, maybe win. Just like, oh, whatever. It's not I will pay extra attention to it. It's exactly like that, right?
I think most people's immediate instinct is that. So like I think before we immediately jump to like, HANTU, your brain kind of fills it in and goes like, it must be. I'm sure there's a logical explanation for it. Yeah. I think it's only later on when you think back on it and you're like, it wasn't very windy that night. Yeah.
Anyway, all this talk about Japan and all, I'm really looking forward to my Japan 2023 trip. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed that we can go to Japan. Not we lah. Like
Not we. Not
me.
we. Yeah.
Yeah. And hope that I don't get any like creepy things happen to me when I was there.
Yeah.
I really hope I don't. I really don't want to. Yeah. But we'll see.
But I mean, if you come back with more stories that do not harm you, then I guess we're doing part 2 of this. So
Yeah,
don't hope for it to happen to Kyle. But if it does happen, hope that he's fine. He's well enough that we can safely do a part 2 of this.
Tell the story, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm sorry that you're always the one that these things happen to, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just like too sensitive.
No,
to it,
I think that I would like to believe that it's one of those things where the spirits kind of see you and they're like, okay lah, we respect this fella lah. This one has always been good to us, so
Am I though?
Well, yes. I mean, okay, he's learned to be good to us over the years.
Mm-hmm.
He's learned to be respectful. So, we want to show him that we see him. We don't mean to frighten him, but then these things happen because, spirits.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one's a complete coward, so like don't care about him.
Yeah.
So being a coward, I like to think has helped.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Are you looking for more creepy places?
No. I'm just looking at the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this? Ooh, Angela's got one.
How about the hospital at Clark Air Force Base in?
I've not heard about this one.
Let me see.
Carl's now going to do some research as well. So you see the weird lighting changes. That's Carl like going, ooh, let's check this out. So yeah, I've never heard of this one before. But then again, I mean we've asked you guys if you have more stories from the Philippines to please share with us as well. So if you Angela, if you have any like not necessarily personal experiences, but like at least secondhand knowledge about stuff that's happened at Clark Air Base, share it with us, because we've only had like I think maybe 1 or 2 Ghost Maps episodes in the Philippines, and I think we definitely want to do more. So if you guys have any, not even necessarily for Clark Air Base, but if you have any, oh my god, we're looking at the photos now, and like, yeah, fair enough.
Clark Air Base was is now an abandoned Air Force hospital. Is the hospital? I think that's what she's asking. It was used in the World War II and the Vietnam War.
Right.
Yeah. Now it's abandoned.
It looks
scary.
Okay, we're not showing you the photos, but it basically, if you're picturing what an abandoned hospital looks like, it looks like that. Okay, it looks creepy as all hell. I'm sure that place has some stories. Almost definitely has some stories. Have you found some?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, Clark Air Force, the hospital at Clark Air Force Base. If you guys have any stories, please share them with us. But yeah, do you guys have any other creepy locations that you want to share with us around Asia? If you have stuff outside Asia, sure, but we're looking more specifically at stuff that's around Asia, not even necessarily Southeast Asia at this point. So if you have other places, do share it with us as well. Yeah. What does your research say, Carl?
Well, it's a really last minute, but let me see. Yeah, I'm just looking at a YouTube video.
Yeah.
It's really creepy. Yeah, it's basically an abandoned hospital.
Yeah.
And like this YouTuber is going to the morgue.
Always fun.
Why they always start with the morgue? I don't understand.
I mean, you kind of figure like, if you're gonna visit a haunted place, try to figure out the worst part of it first.
The morgue lah.
Yeah lah, the morgue's almost definitely gonna be the worst part.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the most active, it's certainly the creepiest. The closest to death, I guess. So, do that first, then everything else doesn't seem so scary lah. Dennis is giving a suggestion. Dennis, I don't know whether I'm pronouncing this correctly. Dennis says Corregidor Island. Where is that, Dennis?
Manila Bay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. What stories are there about that island?
Let's see.
I've not heard of this one before.
Yeah.
Okay. I see a whole section on World War II, so that probably explains it.
Yeah.
Angela agrees, Dennis, that's a good one. So
You guys know a lot of places.
yeah, no. Keep on coming, please.
Nice.
Look, even after this episode,
Yeah.
even after the episode ends, keep telling us about these places. We're gonna start looking at some of these places as well. If you have stories, share them in the comments. Even after the episode goes off the air, keep sharing the stories because we want to hear what it is. Like we said, if there's more stories that we can have from the Philippines, all the better. Yeah, I see a whole big section on World War II. I saw the word massacre down there, so there you go. That will probably do it for you.
Yeah. Man.
Like what little photos I'm seeing look very creepy. So fair enough. Yes. Corey Hyder. Okay. Thanks, Dennis.
There is a lot of people there's this guy staying on the most haunted island for 24 hours. Why?
Yeah.
Why you want to do that?
Again, Kyle, I'm not staying over at any haunted places, okay? I don't care how, I'm just gonna say now, I don't care how many social media followers we have. There aren't enough social media followers for me to stay overnight in a haunted place. Okay? We'll stay late, we'll record episodes, maybe not staying overnight.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't ask you to stay overnight also.
Bless you, Carl.
Yep.
It's nice to know that Carl has limits of creeping me out.
For myself also, I wouldn't want to push it to that level lah.
Yeah.
Like we always stress, right? Like we are horror creators, we tell stories, but we don't go and try to debunk them and
yeah.
Or ghost hunters. We're definitely not ghost hunters.
Yeah, because it feels almost like we're pushing the boundaries of that if we're staying overnight. It's almost like a dare.
It is a dare, what? Like
Yeah.
a lot of time is a dare, what? Like you are like saying that, oh, I am not scared.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Look, taking videos of creepy places, everything, Kyle's gonna be doing that anyway. This is just to. Okay, so Dennis is saying it's Corey Heder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Corey Heder Island. Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, so ooh. Yeah,
Old Changi will be turned into an astronomy observatory. Staying overnight there should be safe. Lots of people to accompany you. Well,
no, still not gonna.
Well,
yeah, no.
I will probably visit.
Yeah, no, I'll visit it, but
in the day,
yeah.
At night probably not so much.
Yeah, no.
We had a person that we know specifically told us who has the third eye.
Yep.
Please don't visit Old Changi Hospital. Please don't. It's not good. Like very, very specific. And I was very casually saying that, oh yeah, I went there to shoot some HANTU visuals, He's like, you went to Old Changi Hospital? I said, yeah, I went to Old Changi Hospital. I did not trespass, but I went there. Yeah, just to shoot there for a while. And he was like, that's so dumb of you.
Can I just make one request? Mm-hmm. The 5 places that we're gonna go shoot creepy visuals, can none of them be Old Changi Hospital?
Yeah, I bring you to Lim Chu Kang.
I feel weirdly safe about that. I don't know why. I feel weirdly safe about that.
No lah. Yeah, I have some places planned, but
okay,
he will know, and you guys will find out.
I'm quite sure he's not going to tell me where we're going. So just to make things interesting.
Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with this, we can end the episode.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, guys.
Before we end the episode, as you guys know, those that follow us.
Wait. Before we get to that, I just want to say thank you to all the people that got us to 1,011 followers on Instagram.
Wait.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate what you've done to me.
Let's see.
Oh, do we have the list of the people?
We have 1,014.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so with that we can end the episode. But before we end the episode, right? Some of you who follow us on Instagram know that this guy is a writer.
This guy.
He's a writer, so he has an announcement to make.
I do. Hang on, I'm gonna
just that,
lean over here and
Yeah,
get
it's
props.
Not really prop lah.
Not really prop lah, not prop at all. So some of y'all probably know this already. For those of y'all who don't, my latest book, it's a collaboration with the comic creator Benjamin Chi. It is, I'm facing the right camera. It is out now. It's called Work-Life Balance, Malevolent Managers and Folkloric Freelancers. To make it, I was gonna like wing it in terms of describing the book to you, but I'll read the synopsis, so that makes it a bit, straightforward. When a menacing multinational arrives on our shores, familiar creatures like Pontianaks, Mananangals, sorry Miss P, I just realized I said your name out loud, Rakshashis and Patiauquis are forced out of their jobs. Some give in and sign up for mundane corporate life, but others would rather fight than join the broken-spirited hordes of the deathbound. So, long story short, it's basically a multinational corporation run by demons comes to Singapore, and suddenly all the hantus, the spirits, and the creatures are forced to join this company. It's half of it is short story prose. The other half of it is comics done by my collaborator Benjamin Chi, and they kind of weave in and out of each other. It's on sale now. So if you want to pick it up, it's available. If you're in Singapore, the Singapore Writers Fest is going on now, so you can pop in there. It's at the Writers Fest bookstore. But if you're not in Singapore, or if you're not heading down to the Writers Fest and you rather just get it online, you can visit bit.ly/WLB comic. So you can get it from there. To make things more interesting, on top of the book, we also created a text-based game that you can play online on your desktop. It only plays on desktop, so don't try to play it on your mobile device. The game is called Internal Damnation, Pick Your Hell, where you play as an intern working for the company run by demons. You can play the game at wlbgame.differenceengine.sg. Difference Engine is our wonderful publisher. So if you guys, want a slightly different take on hantus and momos and, creatures and spirits from Southeast Asia, slightly different from what we do here at Ghost Maps, but still very much in the vein of Southeast Asian creatures and spirits, Work-Life Balance, you can pick it up now.
WSA is asking, is it a comedy or horror genre? I can't tell from the synopsis.
That's good. It's got horror, it's got the creatures, but I wouldn't outright call it horror. I think it's a bit of a comedy. It's also kind of a love letter to the creatures and spirits that, you'll see in all our Ghost Map stories, and the creatures and spirits I think we're all quite familiar with.
Like, dude, he did ask me about some of the creatures when he was doing research.
So this Kyle was basically part of my research as well.
Yeah. So he asked me a lot. Then I was like, then he told me that he's going to make the main character. I can say, right, the main character. Who is the main character?
I mean, there's no real main character.
Okay,
there's quite a few.
One
of the main characters.
One of the main characters, the banana spirit, Pa Jiao Gui.
Yeah.
So you see, and then was I the one who told you to use Xiao Huang as the name?
No.
Who was the one who told you to use Xiao Huang?
No, actually, you might be. I think you were the one.
It was me,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I was like, call her Xiao Huang because little yellow, because banana spirit is so yellow.
Yeah.
I thought it was either me or some other.
No. I think it was you.
Chinese.
I think it was you.
No, I'm not trying to claim credits. I'm just saying because I remember telling you something about it. Xiao Huang. So when I went to the book launch and then Wayne said Xiao Huang, I almost burst out laughing. I was like, yes, that is the name that you should give. Then if Miss P can call Xiao Bai.
No lah.
Right.
Miss P I actually named after one of my ex-colleagues.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Cause she's quite stylish, so I thought having a stylish Miss P would be quite cool.
Stylo Milo.
Yeah. Carl's even in the, of course, Carl is in the acknowledgement page as well.
Thanks.
Yes.
A lot of people is in it. Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're interested, please pick up the new book.
Yeah, I must say the book is good.
Yeah. This one here is Carl's copy.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Thank you very much, guys, once again, for tuning in. Thank you for sharing all your favorite haunted spots with us.
Oh, yeah.
Like we said, even after tonight's episode of Dead Air is done, keep sharing it in the comments. If you have stories, well, okay, we'll get to the closing lah. So if you have stories, then you know where to reach us. All right, shall we do our closing?
And also keep a lookout for Wayne's Avengers with me.
Yes.
Filming HANTU visuals.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you'll hear about it, trust me.
Yep. Okay, let's
Thanks,
go.
guys. All right, new episodes of Ghost Maps go online every second and fourth Thursday of the month on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms. To make sure you never miss an episode, subscribe now and follow us on social media at We Are HANTU. That is one word, WEAREHANTU. If you would like to share your own stories that could inspire future episodes of Ghost Maps, you can reach us through the contact form on hantu.sg or message us directly through Facebook and Instagram. You on Instagram, by the way, where we now have 1,000 and 14 followers.
14, yeah.
Once more. Thanks, guys. You can also be one of our supporters on Patreon at patreon.com/wearehantu. All right. One, two, three. And remember, just because there's stories, it doesn't mean they're not true.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.